Ahem. What's up, people of the world? It's me again, Alex Wimmer, aka AP3 Jumped, and today I'm reviewing a new Loudhouse episode for you called Good Sports. Now, let's get started, shall we? This one, I'm gonna be a little bit more brief, but with this episode because, well, I don't have a lot to say about it, but I did really like it. Now, it stars Lynn Loud Jr. and Mr. Grouse. Yeah, these are two people that I never thought would get an episode together. I just love when shows do that. They have they bring two people and they just have the most unexpected pairing you could possibly think of for an episode. And this time this episode it worked. I mean, yeah. So, let me start from the beginning. Lynn Loud Jr. She's watching a football game, the Detroit Lions versus not the Detroit Lions. What am I saying? The team she's rooting for is the Lions. Actually, they're not blue like the Detroit Lions are in real life. No, they're actually orange. But yeah. I said the real life team is that this team is based on instead of the team in universe. That's twice I've done that. But so she's watching it all alone, and she overhears Mr. Grouse watching the same game, and she goes over to see that she goes over to see for herself, and she sort of invites herself to his home, like he says later on in the episode, and Mr. Grouse is reluctant at first because he's a very hard-headed person, but he's a good guy once you get him to come around, and that was first shown way back in the first Christmas special of 2016, after all. So. And a lot like that episode, this episode gives a little bit more insight on Mr. Grouse's character and backstory, I want to say. So, in other words, we learn even more about him in this episode, just like we did in 11 Lives of Leaping. So, it turns out they're actually having a great time watching the game together. And I just heard someone opening. Yeah, could y'all hear that? Someone's opening doors outside my apartment. Yeah. Anyway, before I get distracted again. So, Mr. Grouse, he talks about how he and his wife used to watch Lions games together, and that she was the only other person who Mr. Grouse knew that was just as much of a Lions fan as he was. Well, up until that very moment, that is, because he wouldn't meet another Lions fan like him again until he found out Lynn Jr. was a Lions fan. By the way, it's confirmed that Mr. Grouse is a widow, which is sad. That's always sad. And we even got to see we even got to see a young Mr. Grouse in that picture. So I don't know when his wife passed away. It's really hard to say. We can really only just guess. Maybe she did pass away a very long time ago. I don't know. But Mr. Grouse, he looked largely the same back then. He just his hair and mustache were black, I think. They were either black or brown. Yeah, I think they were black. So Mr. Grouse, I don't know why I'm pausing so much mid-sentence, but Mr. Grouse gives Lynn his football signed by one of the former quarterbacks of the Lions, who, according to Lynn Jr., was and he wound up being in the Hall of Fame. And so she she gladly accepts the gift, and she gives him a gift in return. She gives him her stinky socks that she wore the entire season. And yeah, it's pretty gross. So Mr. Grouse even grabs it with like like a claw type thing, like them dinosaur claw toys that you get, but he has like I don't know if you can buy a normal version of no, like y'all know what I'm talking about. I don't know what the hell they're called, but anyway, she goes back home and then she wants to watch baseball with him too, and actually they both want to watch baseball together, but turns out neither one of them are rooting for the same team. Mr. Grouse is rooting for the meteors, and Lynn is rooting for the volcanoes. And I'm just going to say right now, even though the meteors even though the meteors uniforms are light blue, Mr. Grouse's hat with the letter M on it, it straight up reminded me of a Mario hat. Even the damn M was stylized in the same exact way. but anyway. So yeah, they try to watch the game together, and it's not really going too well. And they detest each other because of it, and they give each other's gifts back. And so they watch the rest of the game. It's either a different game or it's the very same game. But either way, they watch their same teams play by themselves. And turns out Lynn, she is getting lonely again, trying to watch sports, because remember, if you've seen this, she tried to get her siblings into the sports that she's watching, but either they don't understand what's going on, or they don't want to understand, or they just really, it's just not their thing, let's put it that way. So, not even Charles wants to watch sports with Lynn. I'm sorry, Lynn. So, during all that, Lynn Jr., she hears Mr. Grouse, and they're actually talking back and forth together through the window, and at one point Lynn Jr. is even sitting by the window. So yeah, her eating her cheese puffs, and then Mr. Grouse is like, we can do this all day. Why don't you just come on over, and so we can continue to watch the game. And so yeah, once they finally watch the rest of the game together, and they have a good old time once again, and it's pretty much how the episode ends. Not before they actually make plans to watch the next sport for the next season after baseball, hockey. Now, like I said, I really like this episode. It's a very unique episode, I'll say. I love some of the more unique Loudhouse episodes. We've been getting a lot more of those here lately. And like I said, this episode has such a unique and random pairing of characters that, again, you would never think would ever have an episode. But when it does happen, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This time, like I said, I'm repeating the same damn thing twice, but she let me try that again. That wasn't me trying to be funny. That was just me literally drawing a blank. I don't know why. In this case, this pairing worked. And yeah, these two had a good episode. These two had a good episode together. I really liked it. It was really fun. It had a good message. Just because they're rooting for different teams, rival teams, by the way, they would rather watch the game together. So, yeah, that's the episode. So if you like this video, then don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of future videos I make. And like the video if you liked it, of course, and let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments below. And stay tuned for my next Loudest episode for Jerry Antics. And then after that, I'm going to review the other Casa Grande's episodes. So, once again, I'm Alex Swimmer, aka AP3 Jumped. Thank you so much for watching until the end. That is it for me, and I will see you soon. Goodbye. Oh, for real though, I seriously hope no more. I seriously hope I don't hear any more noises outside my apartment distracting me from doing videos. And I'm far from the only YouTuber who has to worry about that. Believe you me. Although it could be worse. I could be hearing planes flying outside. I should really cut the video off.